Dear founders, dear investors, welcome to our Startup Investor Pitch Lunch. I am Tanya Mitchell. I'm the founder and producer of Startup Investor Pitch Lunch. It is one-of-a-kind online event that connects disruptive founders from around the world and prominent investors from Silicon Valley and around the globe to help facilitate game-changing investment deals, help talented founders to get access to funding, and help investors discover high potential deal flow from new emerging markets. Today, we have an exciting lineup of rockstar founders, potential future unicorns that will be presenting their companies and their innovative products today. Today, we have the best of the best globally recognized innovative disruptors in the space of SaaS, real estate, robotics, transportation. Today, you will hear pitches from ClientPoint, transforming enterprise customer communications with AI. IKAAI, productivity management software of the future. Dano Robotics, AI-guided robotic waste management system. HomeScore, Homebuyer AI sidekick. Cycleye, AI-powered obstacle avoidance for bikes. And among the registered angel investors and early-stage VCs today, we have David Silverman from Crosslink Capital, Casper de Klerk from Norwest Venture Partners, Arik Kleinstein from Gilead Capital Partners, Greg Boleyn from Union Grove Venture Partners, Dave Vreeland from Caduceus Capital Partners, Alex Galitsky from Almaz Capital, Silicon Valley, Sanjit Dank, Impact Venture Capital, Silicon Valley, Amir Sridharan, First Ray Venture Partners, Silicon Valley, Suraj Kumar, Double Rock from Palo Alto, Kay Greenwald, Riyadh Angel Syndicate, UAE. Today, you are pitching not just for this audience in the room, but also for all those investors that will be watching this in the next several weeks. I want to remind to our pitching founders today that you will only have 10 minutes for the pitch and then 5 minutes to answer the questions. I have some questions for each company that I received as a follow-up from investors that I shared your decks with. So I might be asking those questions too. So once again, welcome to all participants. And I want to thank you all for your time and effort being here today. So let's begin our pitch session. And our first presenting company will be IKAAI and its founder, Carlos Matz, that it is building a project management software of the future. Carlos, welcome.
Does anybody remember Jarvis from Iron Man, right? It was basically this futuristic software that Tony Stark uses to work. It was movie stuff, right? So to jog your memory.
Jarvis, you up?
For you, sir, always.
I'd like to open a new project file, indexed as Mark II.
Shall I store this on the Stark Industries central database?
I actually don't know who to trust right now. Till further notice, why don't we just keep everything on my private server?
Working on a secret project, are we, sir?
So this movie came out in 2008, right? And basically we're in 2024 now, right? We're, 16 years removed from this. We're supposed to be in the future, right? This was supposed to already be happening, right? So all interactions with computers, we're not going to be having them with point and click in a screen. We're going to be talking to our computers. We're going to be seeing literal holograms around us and talking to them. That's the future that we were promised. And we basically banked on this prediction, and we've been building literal Jarvis. And we have just completed it. And we're very excited to show it to you right now. So this is IKA, Inteligencia Kinética Artificial. Imagine your company like an organism, like a brain, where each neuron is a department, right? Like marketing, operations, human resources, customer service, development, finance, client, sales, right? And each synapse is communication between departments, right? So you can see the real life, messaging that goes on in all your company. And you can go into marketing and you can go to each subnode, right? You can see the sub-departments, research, photography, and the people that are there and the tasks that are there. But you can talk to it like you would to Jarvis, for example. You can go like, IKAAI, create a new task every Tuesday morning inside of marketing called campaign review.
Here you go.
There you go. You created it. It understands exactly what I'm asking for. This is a live timeline, like live Gantt chart. And it did the recurring task that I asked it. So it went directly to marketing, and we can see this is a design task. This is a video task. This is a photography task. You can edit the task here. So it's basically project management of the future. You can turn off the timeline. You can go, show me my development task for the week.
Done.
It goes to development. It shows me my development task. This is a QA task. This is a backend task. This is a front-end task. It knows exactly what I'm supposed to be doing because it has all the context of all my productive life. So I can go, IKAAI, let's start focusing.
Okay, start focusing on this task in 3, 2, 1, go.
It selects the task that I'm supposed to be doing, and it starts a focus cycle. It's basically the only thing you can control is your focus. So we built a Pomodoro technique inside of the entire system so that you can basically keep the streak of productivity and get you into deep work. You can pause the timer. You can go to another task here, and you can start it again, and you can see where your focus went. First, it went to this task. Now it's in this task. So basically, you're playing a video game, but you're being super productive, right? So right now, IKAAI can do any task for you. Like, you can go here, and even if stuff that you don't know how to do, you can ask it like, generate a project to launch a new type of artificial intelligence user experience platform for productivity, starting tomorrow for 3 months, and assign it to Alvaro. It's generate a project to launch a new type of artificial intelligence user experience for Gen Z. For Gen Z. There you go.
Generating your project.
So even if I don't know how to do stuff, I just ask IKAAI to generate the task for me and the task and the subtasks. So it's going to do all the research for me. It's going to be basically launch a new type of artificial intelligence user experience for Gen Z for productivity. And it's going to do the tasks, the subtasks, and it's going to tell you exactly how to do your goals. It's going to break down everything into smaller and smaller and smaller tasks so that the daunting task of fulfilling your dreams is not that daunting. You have help, right? Here it is, development phase, design phase, testing. And then at the end, it's going to tell me that the project is ready. Like a little bit, it's going to end right now.
Your project has been generated.
There we go. The project aims to develop a launch of innovative AI-driven user experience tailored for Generation Z, focusing on enhancing productivity, right? And I can see all the tasks, all the subtasks, right here. So you can go into each one of them, like go there, prototype design, and you can auto-generate the subtask for that subtask. So it can basically be as granular as you want. You can see it's creating the subtask for it right now. And there you go. So basically, if you don't know how to do anything, you just ask IKAAI to break it down for you. And eventually, pretty soon, we're going to be able to go into each of these tasks and have a button right here that says execute. IKAAI is going to do the work for you. It's not only going to plan it, it's going to actually be an agent that's going to go out into the internet and perform this task for you. So imagine the boost of productivity that you're going to get from building with IKAAI. And the cool thing is that we're not only ready for for any type of interaction, but we're ready for Vision Pro as well. You can see IKAAI right here is ready for the augmented reality revolution. Right? Here's me using IKAAI in the Vision Pro with my eyes and my hands. This is literal holograms.
Oh wait, that's
check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Tony Stark stuff. We are in the future. We're talking to our holograms. We're talking to our products. we are entering a new era, the AI era, and interfaces are going to have to change. And we are the pioneers of this new era of user experience for humanity. We believe that by the end of the decade, we're going to be using less and less screens and more augmented reality glasses to interact with our computers. So we built Jarvis, and the real life Jarvis for your productive life. And the current landscape is that productivity management software is exploding the market. Like in 2024, it's estimated to be 76 billion, and it's estimated to be 130 billion in 2028. And it has been accelerated because of the pandemic, right? So digitalization has been accelerated. But the thing is that the current landscape, productivity tools look like they were made for Windows 95. They're really ugly, and they're really slow to integrate AI, and they're very undifferentiated. Our competitors have poor user experience and not that many AI capabilities. So we're trying to be here. Great user experience and high AI capabilities. Jira, Monday.com, ClickUp, they're decacorns, are competitors. And because of their misgivings, people do less work. Managing work is 61% of your time, and only doing work is 39%. That's a huge inefficiency. So that's what we did IKAAI. IKAAI manages your work, and it will eventually do it for you. You're going to be unlocking this huge inefficiency. So this is the design. We have a design patent awarded for us 2 weeks ago, thankfully. And our target market is project-based micro, small, and medium businesses. We're not going for enterprise right now. We're going to the people. We're going to the people that are actually adopting artificial intelligence rapidly right now. They have a very short sales cycle, and they are primed for innovation, and it's an estimated 38 billion market, right? And we're targeting young and tech savvy, the AI generation. There are 7 million project-based small and medium businesses in the USA, and 3 million of them are Gen Z and millennial, from 1 to 10 employees. That's our sweet spot. The younger the leader, the smaller the company, the better. If you can capture 2% of that in the initial market, by year 5, we can have 100 million in revenue. We created an aspirational brand for productivity. Like our users are raving about us. Check out what they're saying. We had an event last week, and this is the reaction.
Star Trek, I've been waiting for this.
I think it's revolutionary. I think it's amazing, well designed. The AI is phenomenal.
The part that blew my mind through your demo is when you asked it to kind of create that market, like from essentially bottom up, and I was like, that part blew my mind. Is making those individual steps that lead up to it. Exactly. So it makes it easy to organize, easy to execute.
And I was like, oh my god, it's the future. Finally we're getting these cool 3D computer experiences in our real life.
I like that it's like, you're working with like a 3-dimensional interface. Right. Yeah, I think that's really intuitive.
5 minutes back, we were talking about all sorts of ideas we can come up with if we had this product. So some of us were like, we can definitely see this in our daily usage. Some of us were just excited about the network. I don't think there's anything in the market doing that.
No, I agree with you.
So this is our ideal customer profile. These are users of IKAAI. They're raving about it. They're going crazy. They feel like they're in sci-fi future, which we are. We brought sci-fi future into reality. So we're creating an aspirational brand for productivity, like what Figma did to Adobe, but with a mischief twist. If you don't know what mischief is, you're not my target market. These are the testimonials. IKAAI is amazing. It's revolutionary. Ever since I grew up, I've been watching Star Trek. I've been waiting for this. I feel the feeling of the product. And we're in the process of partnering with the leading AI agent companies in the Bay Area. AI agents are agents that do actions on your behalf. So basically, IKAAI is going to be able to perform all these tasks by itself when we partner to the leading AI agents. And we're talking with Multion, that they're backed by Samsung, Amazon, DeepMind, and OpenAI. They are potentially going to be the first AI agent company that we partner with. And we have 1,700 people in the waitlist. We have early paying users. We have a design patent, and we have rave reviews and new evangelists. Like we have a little evangelist now in Silicon Valley. So the vision is that IKAAI learns about your work. It predicts the bottlenecks before they happen and will perform tasks for you. This is the dream. This is the dream. This is the future. The team is multidisciplinary tech design, innovation, and business. I have been in tech and entrepreneurship and design and UX for 20 years. We have a team of 5 full stack engineers, 1 AI specialist. We have 3 advisors from Autodesk AI, from Wharton Business School, and SeedStars. And yeah, this is our short term. We finalized the private beta. People are loving it. Then we expand sales and marketing. And long term, we're going to scale globally. We're raising $1 million at a $6 million cap pre-money via SafeNote, and to basically perform our roadmap, fine-tune our AI model, marketing and biz dev, and generally just bring the future of science fiction to science fact to the world. This is IKAAI. I am Carlos Mats. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Andy Zhedniak, and he will be presenting his company that is ClientPoint, a company that is transforming customer communications, enterprise customer communications with AI. Andy, please, you can share your screen.
All right, can everybody see my title slide?
Yes.
Yep. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you again. Appreciate you, Tanya, for everything you're doing to sponsor us into the venture world. We created ClientPoint to make it easy for people to do business together in this, increasingly remote, increasingly deskless world. To that end, we are now meeting a profoundly clear market need. So we're raising a $5 million round to execute our solution at scale. And here's how we got there. So ClientPoint started as a proposal automation digital sales room platform. And with our first $2 million in capital, we grew it to about $2 million in ARR and about 250 clients. And then when COVID hit and the paradigm of remote work accelerated, along with the need for better tools to conduct remote relationships, we decided to go for it. We assembled an incredible team. We did the heavy lifting of expanding our offering to fully meet this need in this remote, increasingly remote world. And so now our users are scaling exponentially. It's the perfect time to really invest into our growth. So today, really excited to introduce our product to you along with our plan to scale the company. But I want to start with our why. Our why is the problem we solve. And here on the left, whether it's Amazon or Netflix or Spotify or YouTube, we are all used to amazing online experiences as consumers. But look over here to the right. This is how B2B relationships look. And if you ask a typical B2B CMO where their customer relationships live, their journey lives today, their typical answer is very similar to what you see here. It's crazy. People assume this is how we just need to operate in today's age as we deal with another company, all these different endpoints. But frankly, it's totally unacceptable as a status quo. We think it's crazy. So ClientPoint's mission is to change it for everybody. So industry leaders, pundits, analysts, they all have a different name for this problem, this disaggregated problem of B2B customer journey and endpoints. But the message is always the same. In these times, great brands will get left behind if they have suboptimal online experiences for the people they serve. And here's just a really simple example. Company A and its customer, Company B. Look at all the relationship endpoints between them. And they're great tools, great, wonderful tools, but they're great. But look at all of them. And this is a simplified example. The B2B customer journey is a complete mess. And the more people involved, the more complexity. And we like to say that separate systems separate people, which dehumanizes business relationships, and it just doesn't have to be that way. So to solve that problem, if you look at the center there, we just simply put all these endpoints in one place, one link called a ClientPoint. And people can bring and use their favorite endpoints like Zoom or Calendly or DocuSign inside a ClientPoint. Or they can just save money and use our version. Our solution is really simple. Everybody gets their own link. anyone who visits their links gets everything they need to meet and get business done together all in one place. We designed our platform from the ground up as an interconnected network of people getting business done. And keep that in mind when I start to talk about the opportunity in the marketplace later. And then lastly, and just by putting everything all in one place, we offer a vastly better B2B relationship experience, and we do it for half the price. And we're getting companies that are major public companies doing it for this reason, and then solopreneurs, entrepreneurs as well, up and down the spectrum in this bottom line economy that we're in. And just here's a snapshot. You can go to clientpoint.me and sign up for free. You can connect with me there. But here on the left-hand side is your relationships. They can be just individuals or groups. Here up at the top is the different things you can do with someone, and there's a lot more behind this that you can do, including our enterprise solution. And here's the enterprise, the relationship timeline between you and the other person. In this case, we're showing a snapshot from our freemium upsell, which includes our AI assistant, Meg, so that when you're sleeping or in a meeting or at dinner with family or friends, your AI assistant will actually answer on your behalf. It's the most amazing thing, and no one in the world offers this capability. So I urge you to meet with me separately so I can really take you through a demo of this product. It's truly phenomenal. So our growth strategy, very simple. A wide freemium distribution. We'll monetize the AI version of that product through both paywalls and then also what we call lead walls, which allows users to sign up for a consultation with our sales team to introduce them to our full enterprise features. And we serve already companies in 6 continents and in 12 languages with this. And then lastly, we'll bundle this relationship capability into CRMs that we partner with already with what we call our CRM relationship sideboard, which will literally raise the bar of what it means to be a CRM. And speaking of that, we like to think about our market opportunity in 2 different ways. This is actually the conservative approach. So how big can this get? Well, the CRM market size is a good proxy, and here's why. We currently integrate very closely with CRMs because CRMs manage customer databases, while ClientPoint is where B2B relationships actually happen. So it's a perfect hand-in-glove fit between the two. And the CRM marketplace is about a $25 billion marketplace. We're seeing that any company that wants to manage its customers through a CRM will also want to serve that relationship layer just as aggressively once they realize there's a solution to be able to do so, like ClientPoint. We're seeing firsthand that once companies see the problem we solve, they literally cannot unsee it. And once they see that we are the relationship in CRM, they'll think that only having a CRM is like clapping with one hand. And the relationship data from ClientPoint makes any CRM a lot better, a lot smarter. This is real-time relationship data, and we're a big friend of the CRM world. You know, many relationships, top players like Salesforce, Oracle, NetSuite, HubSpot, Microsoft Dynamics, and a lot more. And with this kind of more conservative opportunity of market share, we're gonna literally bundle with every CRM. We're gonna hand them all these capabilities, so we're gonna raise that bar, and likely one of these companies is gonna buy us to gain competitive advantage, and we think that's going to happen in the next 18 to 24 months. But there's a really much more exciting way to look at our market opportunity as I get towards wrapping up here. Back in 2008, I think we all know when Apple here on the left combined a kind of a host of disaggregated tools like the Rolodex and the camera and the clock and the calculator and the reader and the phone and the camera, everything, by building a better mousetrap to house all these incredible but previously disaggregated tools, Apple created a market that was vastly larger than the sum of its parts. So let's draw a parallel to our own all-in-one solution. If you study the market share here of the most common relationship endpoint solutions, CRM and UCaaS and e-sign and document sharing and calendaring, all those things, if you combine the TAM for all these disaggregated endpoints, is more than $100 billion. So the question is, what would the TAM be for anyone who builds the ultimate aggregated B2B relationship solution? A great question, but just as with the iPhone, we believe it could actually be much bigger than the sum of the parts. And that said, if we build our new category, business relationship enablement, in a way that it becomes the dominant platform that houses the world's most profitable and important B2B relationships, literally, ClientPoint is a platform for the world's B2B relationships. We can imagine creating a marketplace that is 5 times the size of CRM alone, which is pretty exciting. So in the same way Apple aggregated so many great solutions into a single killer device, we're doing the same thing by pointing all the endpoints into one all-in-one super app. And with that, and with the distributed relationship network that we're already building today, we see ourselves as potentially doing what TikTok did 5 years ago. Everybody thought we were impacted. We had Snap, we had Instagram, we had YouTube, we had Facebook. There was no room for another major social media player, but they came in and they did it. We think that LinkedIn is ripe for disruption and that we could become the next LinkedIn. And we spent the last 3 years building ClientPoint so that it has all the social hooks to be able to do just that. We have an incredible team. We have a lot of exits in our past. We've been backed by some of the largest VCs around the world. So we kind of got the band back together for this. This is the biggest thing we will ever have done. We'd not only we're showing that there's a market opportunity, we proved that there's a product market fit. We've done 100 deals with this new positioning. As you can see here in the center, we've scaled our user base, our freemium user base this year. We've really increased the size of the ACV of a lot of our clients. So to wrap up, $5 million round. We're going to execute our freemium strategy. We're going to further our AI product initiatives. We're going to build the sales, monetization, conversion teams to fully monetize. The pro forma outcomes are for Q4 of 2025, 600,000 monthly active uniques, 5 major CRM relationship sidebar deals, contributing 30% of revenues. And these partnerships are already in place. We're just working to expand them into this. And then also to a 3x revenue growth to $6.5 million run rate. We anticipate either being acquired by a CRM in the next couple of years or literally disrupting LinkedIn. And if we do that on our own, we are expecting more than 100 million in revenues by 2028. Secondly, right now, we're just wrapping up our inside bridge round on our way to that. And so our bridge round, we've already raised $1 million of the 1.25 million. We've reduced the cap to make it easy for people to come in. It's a screaming deal, really incentivized. The valuation cap is 1/3 of our most recent note series with a 20% discount. We built in a 2x liquidation preference for note holders. Minimum $50K investment. We're looking to close that out in the next 30 days. So really by the first 10 days of August, if there's any individuals who want to kind of jump in late to a great party, that's also available as well. The first $1 million went pretty quickly from our current shareholders who wanted to get a little bit more in before VCs come in and kind of take it from there. So with that, thank you for your time and attention. Again, I'm Andy Jednak. Go to clientpoint.me and connect with me there to find out how our product works. And thank you again. I look forward to being in touch.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. I think I have I will ask a couple of questions just because they are kind of like the most obvious ones that I usually get as a feedback most of the times. The question is always about AI. What specific AI technologies are being used in your platform? What proprietary technologies, algorithms do you have? Do you have an IP? Do you have some unique AI algorithms that you're planning to apply? So what will AI be doing on your platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So we host and serve globally on AWS Amazon. As everyone knows, Amazon has invested heavily into its own variant of OpenAI or DeepMind called Bedrock. We looked at all those. We looked at the cost triangulations. We looked at a lot of things, especially the performance. Bedrock's fantastic. We're based on those tools, on those models. What no one in the world can do, which we do, because we've totally turned the paradigm of SaaS, of the solving problems, to building relationships. What does a relationship need first, and then put the solutions in, as opposed to the other way around? We've built a platform where the relationship all happens in one place. No one has spent that. We've spent years building it. It's entirely different. It's a different paradigm. It's a new era, we believe, in B2B. And combining that, which no one has built, with AI is a truly, truly unique thing. And again, being able to show you a product demo in a follow-up meeting would be fantastic. You'll love it.
Mm-hmm. If you want, you can show like a 2-minute demo right now if you want.
Sure. Yeah. No. What I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and just pull up I'll do it right here, just so people can get an idea of the product itself.
We might
so
be evidencing the birth of the new social media network like LinkedIn. But who knows, maybe it's a historic moment, right, guys?
Yeah, I tell you, we believe we can get there. We believe we could. We think and act. We have the culture. We have the values. We have the enduring winning spirit as a company. We believe, just like TikTok believe, we believe that LinkedIn is ripe for disruption. So you are looking at, again, go to ClientPoint ClientPoint.me, sign up yourself. It's so simple and easy and intuitive. We created this product to be DSS for business people, even business people who aren't very savvy. We call it dumb, stupid, simple UI, but it's simple right here. Here's my relationships here on the side. Here's my groups. Anybody can build groups for free, and you can search them, you can find people, and you can go immediately to them. So here's an example here. I'll go over to I'll go over to Griffin Pettigord. He and I have a relationship that we've conducted over time. There's a timeline. He can schedule, he can share any kind of content, links, documents, videos, pictures, anything that you could share on a DocSend or Dropbox. It all happens here. Or you can use Dropbox or DocSend links. You can schedule here, or you can use your own Calendly. You can meet here or use Zoom or any other service. You can sign here. We have our own versions of these solutions, or you can use DocuSign or Adobe Sign. We integrate with all those other solutions anyway for a lot of our clients. So using ours is really all about saving a lot of money. So here's the timeline, and over here to the right-hand side, this is Griffin. This is about him. It's so simple, and this is really the whole thing. But here's the thing: if you go home, right here, these are all the various postings that people have made. People can post publicly here on ClientPoint, and people are starting to do that. And so you can see all these incredible things and find out about other businesses. And so really what we've built is the future of our vision, our BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal is to be the front office of the B2B world. And we've built it. We're ready. We're scaling with this. People are signing up every day. Well over 100 people are signing up. And we expect, based on our scaling of growth, that we'll have 250 new users per day by about August 11th. So it's coming up really, really quickly. So I'll leave it at that as just a quick demo, and wanted to thank you for the extra time, Tanya, to be able to do that.
I also have my personal question, because I tried using your platform, right? My question is, somebody who's been studying user behavior for a while, how do you make sure that this platform is not just for early adopters? Because our habits are so strong. Like, people are used to use LinkedIn, right? People are used to use Facebook. And how do you change the behavior patterns so they would want to switch? Like, because we are, as human beings, our brain, like evolutionary, didn't really change much in like thousands of years, right? So we hold on to like old tricks that we know, like old habits die hard. How do you plan to basically convert them to your religion? From being users to now being
listen, that's a great question. We have several ways we're doing it. One of the ways is simply this: our platform does something no others do. Right today, you schedule a meeting here, you have a meeting there, you do email there, you share a document there. Everything happens in different places. When people see we just have a better mousetrap, they tend to gravitate toward it. That's number one. Number two, we've built this into our enterprise offering, which I haven't even showed anyone today for time reasons. So we've proven that when people are using ClientPoint to build and have relationships between companies, putting in this next layer, which is a one-on-one layer, just works. People are starting to use it constantly. So we're seeing natural adoption. Number three, as I said before, we call it DSS, dumb, stupid, simple. We have a UI that just is simple and makes sense. So people naturally gravitate toward it. Number 4, we've got a QR code that people can share on their phone. And when they start doing it, they just start using it. It's so easy that meeting there is just so much simpler than a lot of the alternatives that they start to use it. Number 5 is we're putting in AI. We have an AI assistant that you can, for the cost of a cup of coffee a day, while you're sleeping, while you're in meetings, while you're at dinner with friends and family, you can turn the AI assistant on, and her name is Meg, right? You can turn her on, you can train her, and she's literally conducting your relationship in your absence, and you can set her with all sorts of instructions. So if it's that one VC who's going to fund you, she'll give you a call or she'll text you and get you on right then and there. So having a full-blown administrative assistant or executive assistant inside of the relationship workspace makes you available, makes you so much smarter and more efficient. So all these things are kind of piling on top. The last thing really is this. As you saw how we're scaling exponentially, we're doubling users every single month. 17% of those users this year have come from paid advertising. The other 83% are coming from network effects, viral, organic, a lot of different solid concepts and network effect. So all these things together help us get there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you know what? Who would have thought TikTok could have done it? And yet they did. And we have that attitude toward it. The other thing, I just wanted to add one more thing, and I've probably taken up all my time after that, but building this relationship workspace into a CRM makes it so much better for all the people using the CRM. What salesperson likes to go to the contact record screen? They don't, because they have to enter data. And that means they're not selling, they're entering data. They're not making money, they're entering data. They don't like that. But if you put the relationship itself into the contact or the opportunity screen of CRM, the CRM comes alive. The actual relationship happens in all the real world data. So it's great for them. Secondly, the biggest breakage in the B2B sales pipeline right now today, if you look at the data, is that chat bot on the front of the website. Well, with this relationship, we actually put a relationship workspace, a ClientPoint on the front of our clients' websites, so that when you go to the website as a customer or prospect, that moment that you blessed that company with a visit to their website, right then and there, you can click to connect and have an immediate relationship, not with a chatbot, but with a real person of the company, whether in service or support. And that makes it so that your company is opening and unlocking its doors to your website. So all these things are creating this kind of add-on effect. And it's not easy, but it's working, and we're proud of what we're doing.
Amazing. I really believe that every entrepreneur should be opportunistic. And if you don't believe that you can disrupt the world and be the next big thing, they don't even try and approach every situation as an opportunity, right? So what's happening today, I think that obviously we are ready for the next big social media platform that would be more mindful in terms of preserving users' rights, privacy, security, right? There are so many issues that platforms have today, and there is this societal demand to have something else other than the big 4, big 5, right? So people are scared.
No, it's true. Look, 2/3 of the people who are in purchasing or procurement inside of a company are millennials and Gen Zs. They're 100% digitals. If you have an experience with your product that's hard to research and figure out and find, and it's disaggregated, people are going to assume the product's not very good, even if it's the best in its category. We're going through a paradigm shift because the people who are making decisions for companies are 100% digitals. We need to have a better experience that's like YouTube or Spotify or Amazon, everything in one place, super simple and easy. So we are ripe, to your point, Tatiana, we are ripe for change, and we're happy and excited to be the ones to drive it forward.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you for professionalism and positivity that you demonstrate to all of us. And I want to now invite Meanwhile, I want to invite Jared Rosen from HomeScore to tell us about the next big thing for homeowners and the revolution that you are doing in the space of real estate and home ownership. HomeScore, Homebuyer's AI sidekick. Jared Rosen, please.
But I think I wanted to touch deeply on the pain point that we're going after. So my name is Jared Rosen. I am the co-founder and CEO of HomeScore, your home buying sidekick. So I had this absolutely awful time buying a property in Boston. When I moved here from New York, I probably looked at 42 properties. I can also blame part of that on the fact that I'm engaged to an attorney. So we asked a lot of different questions throughout the process. But even despite that, my email was littered with different chains of information. Hey, can you verify your income with this link? Can you upload certain documents here? Here's the clarification for 123 Main Street. These are the various disclosures that need to be done for 321 Main Street. It was very frustrating and complex, and there's no reason for this to happen in 2024. More people are actually anxious about buying the home buying process itself than coming face to face with a poisonous snake. So I think that just goes to show you how difficult and fully suffocating this process is. So in terms of our purpose, we want to reimagine the home buying journey with transparency, credibility, and affordability at its heart. And we believe that the transparency aspect of vetting a home is inextricable, impossible to disconnect from the transaction of buying it. Typically, these are kind of done in different corners of the process. So our solution is really developing an AI sidekick that helps buyers bridge the gap between browsing and buying, guiding them step by step, all in one place. So for that, it's managing the process with all parties. So obviously, home buying is a team sport. And by that, I mean, it's more than just you. It's you and your spouse, potentially, or partner. It involves inspectors and vendors and a host of different agents. Our goal is to integrate this in one place, having a unified buyer and seller timeline and certifying property quality and condition, as I had alluded to. So in terms of why now are we going through this? Why now are we doing this? Well, there's this recent National Association of Realtors settlement with the DOJ, really preventing the compensation of buyers' agents from sellers. So essentially what is one of the hypotheses that will happen, and this is just going into effect on July 1st, is that buyers are going to get less services from their agent. And with that, commissions are poised to come down. And what's the remedy to getting less attention from your realtor? Well, injecting it with the recent developments in AI-enabled analysis that we have. So AI breakthroughs are really allowing us to verify property quality and condition. And then from a customer service standpoint, answering a lot of the questions, doing a lot of the document review, managing various timelines, really having that A+ guidance and support at scale. Not everyone is blessed with an A+ realtor. In terms of our market size, there's 11.2 million buyers in a year. These are people that maybe make an offer on a home, but don't actually transact. They go to a couple open houses. They've worked with a realtor. So those are people that can use our app really alongside, without any stress and for free through a freemium model. And then as they work towards transaction, there are 5.2 million active buyer transactions in the United States per year. We will be scaling this down for a pilot to the Metro Boston area initially. So in terms of AI, I know everyone on here, that's the magic word that everyone is working with. For us, we think that data is actually our long-term asset. My co-founder spoke quite prominently about this at Google. But AI performance and LLM performance will converge over time. And therefore, we believe that creating the world's largest walls-in data set of property quality and condition is most important. So that comes from photos, videos, annotations, permit data, appliance data, all gathered in one place and verifying the quality of it. And with that data, our goal is to ignite a data flywheel, making HomeScore a truly indispensable app that every home buyer must use as they're working through the process. I think if anyone on here has gone to a wedding recently, there's an app that a lot of people use, the Knot or Zola, Z-O-L-A. And it's essentially allowing you to make a lot of the wedding planning decisions all entirely in one place, managing invite lists, budgets, vendors, contracts. So bringing that to the home buying experience. In terms of where the product is now, we're at a pre-seed stage. So what we've built so far is what you see on the left. So this allows us to better understand home inspections. You have an home inspection and you're looking to learn more about issues, priority of said issues, the impact of those issues on the negotiation of the offer. You can even chat with each one of these insights. The other thing that we're able to do is have an intake quiz where we better understand your buyer priorities, needs, and risk profile, and are able to compile insights that are most important to you. And your realtor can also use those to guide your home search as well. Going forward into, through this raise, we're looking to build out a suite of features that allow us to guide and solve and assist through the transaction process. So that's that unified timeline. As you can see here that I'm circling, this is a good example of how it would look in terms of a dynamically generated to-do list of things that you need to tackle throughout the buyer journey. And this is something that changes based on questions you might have, property quests that need to be fulfilled for properties you've seen, helps you negotiate and manage the details and nuances of an offer all in one place. So that's a little bit about what we're trying to build from guidance from search to signature, transparently managing all those milestones. And then an additional feature that we're looking to add is building this residence roundtable. Realtors often have a monopoly on the information that is disseminated to their buyers. Our goal is to open that up a bit more into other experts in the area, whether it's an interior designer, an accessibility expert, these people that might have a vested interest. You might have a vested interest in learning their perspective on a property that you're considering. After all, it is the most important purchase that you end up making in your life. In terms of competition, there's a couple of other places that are taking advantage of this new tidal wave of opportunity from the recent National Association of Realtors settlement. Landy and Blue Sidey are two of these. Really what they're designed to do is not work with realtors and just have you click through the process, generate documents, and immediately submit an offer. We believe that the best way to do this initially, especially with realtors in place, is creating a tool that automates a lot of the repetitive tasks that realtors do on a daily basis, and then creating a buyer-focused app that makes the process centralized, simplified, and built on education and transparency. So that's how we differentiate ourselves. And so in terms of traction thus far, Tanya mentioned it earlier, we are backed by Jason Calacanis through Launch VC. We've had 330 users so far, almost 600 people have signed up. And in addition to that, even with our limited feature set, having an engagement time of over 2 minutes is pretty extraordinary, considering we have yet to build out a lot of these features. We were a top product on Product Hunt for the week, which was awesome. And in addition to that, we recently joined C10 Labs, which is a venture studio MIT Media Lab spinout here in beautiful Cambridge, Massachusetts. So that's where we're accelerating and validating some of the new features. Our business model, I think what I will say here is the majority of the feature set is going to be free to buyers. And the goal there is we're going to be generating a lot of first-party data that will help inform a lot of the recommendations that we give buyers going forward. We believe that the data generated from this app has value in and of itself, and at a later time would be a substantial revenue model. Beyond that, users can use all these features for up to 2 properties. Beyond that, they pay $20 per property. And we're testing we plan to test several different models to monetize active buyers working through the transaction process, one of which is outlined here based on a fee at closing, but we're also looking at monetization models based on the buyers that end up using the app that the realtor would pay on their behalf. In terms of growth, really chapter 1 is lightly monetizing through a very nominal fee for the first several properties that a buyer searches through. And then beyond that, our goal is to monetize more meaningfully various aspects of the transaction. In terms of our roadmap, we're really starting with this Homebuyer mobile app launch. We believe that a B2C component is really powerful, especially in a place where there isn't a centralized resource for buyers to navigate the process. Then we'll be building products that allow us to manage various repetitive tasks that a realtor does, whether that is setting up schedules, pulling data from municipal or county records, managing document analysis. Those are the things that we would be tackling. In terms of the founder team, it's really myself and my co-founder, Sharat. Think of ourselves as a PB&J founder combination. I have 9 years of experience in brand and product at places like Wayfair, Nissan, ByteDance. Myself and my co-founder met during our MBA program at Carnegie Mellon. Sharat has 12 years of experience in machine learning and AI, and currently has been doing a lot of work on the development of the Gemini model. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Jared. I'm really excited about your company. I think that home owning experience in general needs to be reinvented. I'm curious to hear your perspective. I know that, like, for example, Elon Musk has sold all of his properties, and his argument was that it was taking too much time to manage those properties, too many resources, and it was like complicating his life. So he ended up selling all of his real estate. And in general, how do you see the trends in long-term trends in the homeowners market, in real estate market? How will it change with time? Like, we already hear that people tend to, instead of buying home, do a long-term rentals. Have you heard of, you probably heard about startups that are doing this, like home licensing. It's almost like you buy a home for a couple of years. So there are all these different models that are alternatives to home owners. How do you see the market will change, and how will the trend in this consumer behavior will be changing in the next few years?
Yeah, I think like the biggest change is the evolving of conventional roles. The role of a realtor was really a generalist that has to be a specialist in a lot of different capacities. And I think what you're saying exactly, like whether it's Picasso for fractional ownership or Airbnb, they've really come at it from a user-first perspective, allowing users to deal with fractional ownership and sort out the complexities associated with maintenance. The same is true with the legitimacy of renting an Airbnb. But there hasn't been an innovation in terms of the conventional home buying itself as a primary residence. So we think that there's a big opportunity there. And also the realtor, the role changes. There's a lot more data you need to analyze today. Perhaps someone has a mobility issue, or they have concerns because they work from home all the time. They want to make sure that there's an interior designer that gets a perspective. We believe that broadening the aperture of the experts that we let into the room can be really important. And therefore, the realtor can focus on delivering expertise as it relates to the anomalies that tend to come up during the home buying process. Or sometimes a realtor's best asset is being the emotional support person for someone when things go wrong, or guiding them through the complexities beyond what our AI might be able to do. So our goal isn't to disintermediate or cut this person out. It's to cut out a lot of the tasks that they don't enjoy doing, or that their contract manager or transaction manager does on a daily basis. That we see as a huge opportunity and has a massive benefit to the user and prospective buyer.
But will people still be owning homes in like 15 years from now, or will they or will they just be doing Airbnb or whatever? That would be some kind of a more agile living experience.
I mean, I think especially after COVID, a lot of people have moved to various suburbs. And, what a lot of people had thought was the end of, suburban living as people had moved into the cities. I know coming out of college, that was the big trend, are reverting to the suburbs, and conventional home ownership is still quite powerful despite it being more unaffordable. But I think its lack of affordability presents an opportunity because you got to get it right. You don't want to step in too deep and not know enough about the property or have to diligence in terms of the total cost of ownership. So, our goal is to augment the realtor and then eventually augment the, pre-approval process through the lender as well. And both of those are key to our go-to-market plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have for every company, I have a list of questions that I got as a feedback when I shared the decks with investors that are not in the room right now, but you will hear from them. So the risk factors, what do you see as like main risk for your company, and how you're planning to mitigate them? And then include in the same risk question is the regulatory landscape. How do you planning to meet various regulatory standards in different markets? And like, will that be like a blocker for your company growth?
Yeah, so I think the biggest risk factor relates to the cold start problem. The insights that we can generate are undoubtedly powerful at helping you make smarter decisions and decide what is most affordable and relevant to your personal lifestyle, financial situation, and risk tolerance. The challenge is ascertaining a lot of that data. So you need to get users on the platform. So to us, I'd say the massive risk factor is making sure we have a potent and powerful launch in a specific confined area. We've isolated the Boston market as an initial test case. So that I think is, a risk factor. And what we're doing to mitigate that is by striking some, partnerships locally with various realtors and lenders to get this app in front of more and more users. I also have a marketing background and can de-risk things by hopefully building something that is genuinely appealing and adds value to buyers. And about 95% of the people that we've interviewed who have used the app, of the 300 plus users, have had intensely positive reviews related to design and user experience. I think sorry, Tanya, the second part of your question was related to
regulatory landscape, like regulations in different markets, because you're planning to go global, right? Outside of the United States, there are different regulations for homeowners.
Yeah, so there's a lot here, and I think the biggest opportunity, obviously buying a home in each town is different. And I know Zillow has had trouble with this because they had to do a massive write-down because they thought that buying homes, nationally was going to be tremendously profitable and flipping them. Our goal is to ingest data pertaining to permits and building codes for specific municipalities, county data, state data, even incentive programs for first-time home buyers, veteran buyers, first responder discounts. Some states have those. And that to us is really beneficial for scaling across the country. We want this to be the smartest place for someone to go through a transaction. And that means personalizing the experience based on the laws or regulations in that county or in that state. Even in California, inspections are done prior to listing, versus in Massachusetts, they're done towards the end of your process. So that would change the complexion of when certain data is available, but it doesn't change the user experience, which is focused on transparency. So I'd imagine when we would expand internationally, countries like Mexico might not have as many, government regulations at a municipal level. They might have state level. So therefore, we might lean more heavily on the first party data we accumulate, those photos, pictures, videos, annotations, contractors that do work, submitting work orders for specific properties. Those tend to hold higher amounts of weights. So figuring out the governance of specific data, a realtor might lie about the height of a ceiling. Cathedral ceilings might actually be 6 feet tall. And that is something that we want to validate by having data, whether it's municipal or first party, to make sure that we're providing the accurate account to the user.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is the big vision? The last question I have here. What is a big vision for you for like in 5-10 years? Where do you see your company?
Yeah, so I think the big opportunity here is integrating with contractors. When you own a home, We want to help you buy it. We want to help you make the smartest decision possible. But ultimately, we want to make sure that when you're doing a kitchen renovation 5 years in, you put on a patio in the back, that we can integrate the work that those contractors had done and validate its quality. So therefore, 10 years from now, Tanya, when you sell your home, there's a permanent record of property quality and condition of the exact improvements that you have done. And therefore, when you're selling your house for $1 million, would you rather sell it for $1 million, or maybe you can get an extra $2,000 or $3,000 for having a permanent record of the property? Our goal would be to have you make money on the permanent record and us make money on the back end as well for maintaining the custody of the property. I know it sounds a little blockchainy at the moment. I don't want to say that right now, but we do believe that in order for this to be a long-term plan, we want to have a permanent record of the property, and that helps us verify the quality and condition of homes and increase transparency, which really is our mission.
Amazing. Okay. So next we have Jin Ming and his company Cycleye, that is AI-empowered obstacle avoidance for bikes. It is also a very exciting futuristic experience for bike riders, how they can be more safe on the roads and how AI can help them feel safer.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction.
Unmute yourself, please.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. Thank you for the introduction. So, good afternoon, all. I'm Jim. So, Cycleye is an AI startup from Singapore, and I'm excited to share with you guys about what we have made. This is the ultimate companion for cyclists all around the world. It's an accessible obstacle avoidance technology built and run just on your phone. So, let's take a closer look at the current market. I'm sure many of us here have friends and families who love to ride their bicycles, either for fun or for commute. Who knows, maybe we have some of you here who are guilty of being cyclists. Well, it is no surprise that many well-known studies have shown a prominent trend in the uptake of cycling as a form of transportation. As we all know, Netherlands, Denmark, these are the pioneers of the cycling culture, with recent years of extensive focus on developing more extensive networks throughout the countries. Many nations like America, France, and Singapore has also joined the bandwagon, pouring in investments after investments into cycling infrastructure throughout the city. Well, it will also be hard to miss the fact that even the big player organizations worldwide, like Google and Apple, are promoting the use of bicycles around transportation and positively influencing the society to cycle more. So, could cycling be the future of mobility? Well, not so fast. Cycling itself is inherently dangerous. You are basically exposed to all elements of harm with little to no protection. At least from my country alone, 2/3 of traffic accidents result in hospitalization involving cycling. What makes matters worse is that the proportion of cycling accidents are increasing steadily in Singapore. And many of these accidents are actually preventable, and they are mostly attributed to lack of awareness or even sheer carelessness. And if this is left unchecked, the push factors that prevent people from taking up cycling will be in the country and is unresolved, and we'll be seeing more of these unfortunate and unnecessary incidents happening more and more. Actually, if you don't mind, I will just share a personal anecdote. I was just a high school student and I was commuting to school by bike. And my usual route usually would involve going along a major road. And as I was coming up to a traffic light, I had to make a left turn. So, which means I have to cross like 3 lanes of traffic. And naturally, I had to turn back to check for oncoming vehicles. And when I was doing that, suddenly I just heard a loud screech in front of me. And before I knew it, the truck in front of me has emergency braked and I couldn't react in time and I just slammed into the back of it. So I just pondered and I pondered in my hospital bed for three long months. Yeah, so basically I thought that what could we prevent from making such similar incidents happen to other users? If only there was a way to be aware of your surroundings at all times as a cyclist. So let's see, what is in the market currently? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is basically like a mirror, like, the side view mirror of your car, right? So you just attach this simple and easy solution. And we also have other companies doing similar stuff, like using radar sensors that's basically an electronic mounted on basically your handlebar or your seat post. We also have even full-fledged electric bikes, such as the Boreal LiDAR bikes, and even the very recent DJI electric bikes. But this is a very expensive option, obviously. So we want something that provides cyclists with an active sense of awareness that's affordable for basically people who use bicycles. And last but not least, we want it to be robust, reliable, and portable. So preferably something that's modular. So the mirror itself, it satisfies the affordability point. The radar sensors, well, they are not that affordable, but they do provide a sense of awareness actively and also provide portable solution. However, we found that actually this radar, it doesn't work in rain. Yeah, that's a funny thing. So radar sensors, when it's raining, it will just basically block the entire sensor itself. And also, it only works on straight roads. So not all roads are built straight, right? So you have curved roads, up hills and down hills. So that doesn't work for everything. And last but not least, we have the most expensive option. Obviously, this will give the most comprehensive safety support and at the expense of basically being expensive. So my startup, Cycleye, will be the leader in depth detection, basically depth and detection. So this is our product. It's basically a phone app where you can run it on Android or even iOS. You can see I'm just holding one in my hand right now. So it's basically a radar system where you can see the objects around the cyclist, can perceive the depth using a single molecular camera lens. So of course, it detects people, vehicles, and all important objects and plot them onto this big radar on your screen, and it will alert users of incoming dangers whenever is needed. So to briefly go into the tech, or I would say the AI, the magic word behind this startup. So let's look at the obstacle part. We use faster RCNN to train a model under TensorFlow, which is one of the frameworks that we can use to actually build a lightweight model that is usable on the phones and even on tablets or without needing the need of a huge supercomputer. Because if you think about, let's say, Tesla or like ChatGPT, all this AI, even though it's like very fancy AI, they require huge supercomputers to operate. And our startup, we pride ourselves in making technology that's slick and accessible to people. So hence, we have something that's lightweight and is built using this TensorFlow here. So basically, it's trained on, to do the math, is like about 1 year of cycling footage, and it detects people, vehicles, and even traffic light stop signs for perhaps the future integration with self-driving cars and all that. As you can see on the bottom left here, it's actually running at 10 hertz, and it's actually about slightly faster than human reaction time, and it can detect up to 10 objects at once. And on the right here, we have the depth detection model, and we use various depth models like UniDepth, Sparse 4D to ensure that our depth detection is as comprehensive as possible, and we train it on new scenes, new images, and we ensure that it can be run on any camera, even your phone camera or even the webcam I'm using now. It works on any camera. So our product basically seamlessly integrates these two models and gives us what we have today. Basically, it's on the right, you can see a time lapse of us using it on the roads, and you can see that all the objects are plotted accurately with respect to the center of the cyclist. And you can see right here, there's a bus that's coming up from behind me, and I wouldn't even have to turn around to look. Oh, I can just look at my phone and, oh, okay, there's a huge bus behind me. I got to be careful. So our product value is that it's lightweight, runs on almost all devices, it's accessible on Android and iOS. In fact, you can just download it today on Play Store and App Store, Google Play. And last but not least, it's reliable because we train it on almost over a year of cycling data. So even mountain biking or like food delivery, cycling in the rain, cycling at night as well. So this is all comprehensive. So this is our investment ask. we're asking for slightly over 600K. Half of this will be spent on project management, development of the app itself, because we want our AI to be as streamlined as possible to maintain its lightweight and even perhaps having an upgrade in the future where we can do lane detection and perhaps even multi-object detection. The next bulk of the pay will be to management salaries. And of course, we will need to dedicate some of the money funding to marketing. We would like to reach out by perhaps videos and websites and even on social media and all that. And last but not least, multiple patents. The keyword is multiple because not only do we have to patent the lane detection, we have to patent the radar detection, we have to patent the depth detection and object detection. And importantly, we have to ensure that our technology is not stolen because it's a lightweight and age-compatible device. And as of now, in the market, we haven't seen any AI that's able to run so smoothly and reliably on just in your phone, a handheld device. So this will be for 18-month runway, and our projected revenue is 5.2 million, with about slightly over 1% of the total available cyclists out there in the market, and we are selling it for about $80 per device. So this is our projected timeline. Our pre-seed was last year. We are supported by National University of Singapore and Block 71 of Silicon Valley. And right now, as I'm speaking, we are undergoing beta testing in Singapore, where we have major companies such as Foodpanda and GrabFood, which are the delivery companies in Singapore. They basically have a lot of cyclists on the roads to basically deliver food to people. And we also have rental companies such as SG Bike and also Go Cycling, which is a huge cycling community in Singapore, which are one of the few that we partner with. And in the next month, it will be released officially to public on these two platforms with 1,000 pre-orders currently on our website. And following month, we will be expanding it to where we are now, USA, and also Japan, Denmark, and France, all that. And before next year, we aim to reach into scooters, wheelchairs, and skateboarders. And next year, we'll be going to all vehicles. And basically, by the end of the runway, we'll aim for full house production and also production in international markets. So to wrap up, this is my team. I'm the CTO. Even though to be fair, we are actually quite a new startup. We are all quite young. We just graduated. But a couple of us have a master's in robotics engineering and also data science. So we do have the knowledge to actually implement this in the product, as well as we have some experience in startup. So me and CEO and CFO, we are all part of the NUS Overseas College Program, which have close relations with the Silicon Valley community. So we actually have a lot of connections with the investors and also fellow venture project. Yeah. So that's it.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. I hope America will provide for you additional opportunities. That Singapore is great, but I think American market is obviously a market every startup wants to launch at. I wanted to ask you if you want to do a demo. I remember you wanted to share a demo.
Right. Do I have time for that?
Yes, you have time because you will be the last speech for today. Yes, and you can do the demo, and I will ask you a couple of questions if you don't mind.
Sure. Okay, so I'll just bring you guys to the product itself. So this is the phone, and basically I have an identical phone mounted on it. And you can see it's connected basically by a wire, and in the future we will have a wireless support, of course. So this is the radar that shows what's around the bicycle right now. And we have a back-mounted camera here. So this basically points behind the bike. Yeah. So you can see right now it's detecting a bicycle because, yeah, I have a bicycle parked there. And also it's detecting me, of course, because I'm standing right here. So you can see that this is a very simple to mount device. You just need basically a makeshift phone stand, and you just need to buy one of these Cycleye products. You just mount it here. So you're good to go. You can just bring this on the road and it'll protect you from dangers.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So it's always great to see the demo. I think like on the streets of San Francisco today, we can see so many different autonomous driving means of transportation already. And so many bikes, electric bikes, and there are so many companies in this field competing. So I want to ask you about your competitive strategy. Like, what can possibly prevent companies like Lyft, e-bike, right? There are many other bike companies like Lime. On different markets, I'm sure there are analogs, but what would prevent them to copy what you do? Do you have some proprietary technology? Do you have a unique AI algorithms that you are using that they will not be able, like big companies will not be able to copy?
Yeah, definitely. So actually, our first primary form of protection is basically the patent. So right now we have a patent pending under National University of Singapore, and it basically prevents others from copying our product and just say, oh, we actually made the product as well, and we're going to sell it. So the secondary form of protection is that actually this technology is one of its kind, I would say, because usually artificial intelligence is run on supercomputers and very heavy processors, taking up a lot of computing power. We pride ourselves in the fact that we can basically run it on any phone. The one I'm holding now is just a Google Pixel 4 actually, so it's a very old device. So we already have the how would you say this? Like we have the runway, like the early start in basically looking into technology where we want AI to be able to run on these devices. So we have already spent many hours, 10,000 hours of cycling footage on this basically age-friendly device, age-friendly AI models. So that's the secondary form for protection. Well, the third form of protection is basically we are trying to branch out. So is this what you're seeing right now is basically just for cyclists, right? But we can also branch this out in a sense where you can actually put it on drivers' dash cam as well. Drivers as in like cars or even for like wheelchair accessibility or even for blind people. So what our secret sauce is the API where we have a lightweight AI that's run on a smartphone. So we are going to leverage that fact that we can basically apply this to many scenarios, like basically just putting this right on your car dash cam, or even to guide blind people where maybe they don't know what's around them. So you just fish out the phone and just do a quick scan, and basically our app can tell them what's around them. So that's our strategy to prevent getting squished by the bigger companies. Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're now in your beta testing phase, and tell
Yes.
me how you're planning to gather and utilize user feedback to improve your product, to make sure that the product will allow you to convert your target customers, your early adopters today, to paying customers, and to ensure your user growth metrics.
Right. Actually, I would say that right now, even in the beta testing stage, many of our customers are already very likely to keep the app on their phone because it's less than 10 megabytes and it's very easily accessible on App Store, Play Store, and all that. And you'll be surprised to find that you can even use your own phone cameras for this. So right here, I can select my phone camera and I can basically just play around with it. So phone selfie. Yeah, so you can see it's okay. Sorry, give me a second. Selfie. Yeah, so you can see I'm
Yeah.
so basically they would play with this app, and especially among the young phone users, they'll be like, whoa, this is so cool. I can point around and okay, wow, I can detect objects, I can detect cars. So there's really a lot of cool factor, and there's not really any push factors. Like they wouldn't uninstall this app. There's the only way to basically convert them into active Cycleye users is basically either get them to just use the phone and mount it on the bike for free. So these people can use our technology for free. Or if they want to use it comprehensively, they can actually purchase it at a very affordable rate of $80 per device. And they just mount the camera and mount the phone, and it will basically work as intended. So that's basically our strategy to ensure that our beta testers wouldn't just fall out of the program easily.
Mm-hmm. So how do you plan to scale it? There is only so many bikes, right, that you can apply it to. Do you see any other applications of this technology to like other transportation, or is it do you just want to focus on bikes?
As of today, as of basically this year alone, we are going to solely focus on cyclists and more, how would you say it? More specifically, road cyclists who are always around vehicles and around basically heavy transportation. So that's our primary target audience. And once we capture that market, which we are in the process of doing, we will branch out to other micro-mobility devices like scooters and wheelchairs, which is going to happen next year. But that only comes after we successfully capture the cyclist market, which we are very confident because due to the 1,000 pre-orders out of, so we actually did a survey. We surveyed around 2,500 cyclists in Singapore cycling events like marathons and triathlons and all that. So we have 1,000 pre-orders. So that's about 1/3 of conversion rate. So we will use that, we'll leverage on these pre-orders to basically branch out to cyclists, road cyclists first, before ensuring that we can comfortably transition to other modes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, congratulations and thank you for presenting this to us. I'm sure Silicon Valley Bay Area has so many biking enthusiasts. There's so many angel investors are riding bikes on those trails of Silicon Valley. So you better want to like convert them in your early adopters as well, right?